Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are here to talk about a brand new foundation by Dior called the Backstage Foundation. This is a face and body foundation that is going to be released in Sephora, or I think sometime towards the end of this month. And yeah, we're going to talk about it. So if that's something you're interested in watching, you're in the right place. We're about to get into it.
I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf.
Alright guys, so the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. Now, this foundation was created by Peter, who is the main developer guy over at Dior when it comes to their cosmetics. And the way that the concept of this foundation came about is Dior has a lot of different facets when it comes to the company. Obviously, you guys know they have fashion, they have jewelry, they have cosmetics, and models are involved in a lot of their marketing campaigns. They also do a lot of catwalks in high fashion shows. So Dior has a team of makeup artists that are constantly servicing those different branches of Dior. Now, the makeup artists themselves were struggling with finding a foundation that could withstand the extreme conditions that these models and the people working on these different marketing campaigns, girls that are doing the catwalk, etc., runway stuff, they were struggling to find a foundation that could withstand these kind of extreme conditions. The lights in those conditions are incredibly harsh, they're very hot, and a lot of times when you're working in different environments, the weather can be very hot, your face can be getting wet with sweat, sometimes water is splashing around, and you just have to have a foundation that's going to withstand all of those extremes. And not only on the face, but these makeup artists also do things on the body. So if a model or somebody has a scratch or a blemish or a tattoo that needs to be covered, they need a product that's going to be able to go on and withstand all of these extreme conditions and still look good on camera and in person. That was the problem. So they set about creating a foundation that would meet that need. And the one thing that really intrigued me about this particular formula is that it's been tested for quite a long time before Dior actually brought the foundation to market. So they tested it with the Dior makeup artists until the formulation was perfected, and they felt as though this was a formula they could actually bring to market. So the claims behind the Backstage formula are that, number one, it is a skin-like finish that's very heavy in pigment. So you'll have a lot of pigment in the formula, but you're not going to feel the weight of it because it is a thinner. Actually, the formula, the texture itself, feels quite kind of like gel. It's very airy and light feeling. It's not like a very thick, heavy cream, and it's not watery like a lot of face and body foundations tend to be. It's just a very nice, comfortable, light texture. And the claims are that it's going to give you a natural skin finish. It is a matte formula. It's going to look good on film, and it's going to look good in person. In addition to that, they also say it's going to withstand extreme conditions, and they rattle off things like water, extreme humidity, sweat proof, working underneath the hot lights. It's not going to melt and start to fall off the face. So they say it's supposed to withstand all of these really extreme environmental conditions as well. So they really have kind of a lot there to stand up to when it comes to this foundation. And one of the misconceptions that I know is out there in the industry, and it's not necessarily a misconception because a lot of face and body formulas are this way, is that a face and body formula tends to be a little sheer. You don't really get as much coverage from a face and body formula as you would from a normal foundation that's meant for the face. I think that impression is out there kind of floating around, and I can honestly say this is a foundation that's going to kind of put those worries to bed. I've tried this foundation over the course of the last week, and honestly guys, I genuinely love this product. So first, let me show you guys up close a couple of swatches of colors. Now, one thing that I will tell you is that there are 40 shades of this foundation. So this is the biggest shade launch of any product that Dior has put out so far. So 40 shades is pretty much going to ensure that there is a shade out there for literally everyone. So I have 4 shades to show you guys. I have all in the neutral category just because that's my particular undertone. I have 2 neutral, 3 neutral, 4 neutral, and then I also have 2.5, which is a shade that's in between the 2 and the 3. So just so that you guys, if you're looking to shade match, this could give you a point of reference. So I want to show you guys those swatches and let you guys take a look at what those look like. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you guys the 2, 3, and 4 together, and then I'll show you the 2.5. And I'll show you what they look like wet, and I'll show you what they look like dry. And let's get into those swatches now. So I don't know if you're going to be able to tell from the swatches themselves, but the texture of this is, again, a really nice texture. I love the way that it actually feels. And I will also say that when this dries down, it's not that it gets darker, but it does dry down matte. So it kind of takes away a little bit of that luster that you'll initially see there in the swatches, but you'll notice that in the swatches when they've dried, you'll see what that mattification looks like so that you have a good idea of what the finish itself looks like. So overall, the colors I think in the neutral category all look very neutral. They have a great undertone. I like the way that they look. I like the way that the 2.5 kind of sits right in between the 2 and the 3. I think it's overall just a good shade range. So I think that they did a great job bringing 40 shades to market with this particular foundation. I can appreciate the fact that they didn't just start with 20 and then say they were going to expand the line later. I like when an organization gets a product perfected, they try it with their makeup artist for a extended period of time. They continue to improve the formula until they feel like it is at the best that it can be, and then they just bring it to market with 40 shades. I think that's exactly how foundations should be launched, and Dior should be commended for launching this particular one that way. Now, let's get into application. So I'm going to show you guys application here, and one particular thing I want you to notice is that I did kind of alternate between sponge and a brush, just trying to figure out like the best application for me. And to be honest with you guys, if you want a sheerer application, then the sponge works fine. If you want a little bit of extra coverage, it really does great buffing it into the skin with a brush as well. And it's very rare that you find a formula that's really super good at both, but this one is one of those. And another thing is the ability to cover up imperfections. This is, I would say, a full coverage foundation. Now, they classify this as a high medium, but I have a lot of redness and discoloration on my face, and you can see in the half and half shot that it really does a good job at evening out skin tone and covering up those imperfections. I think it does an excellent job, and I really like the coverage. They classify it as a medium, but they say you can build it up to high coverage. I honestly noticed with just one layer on my face and then maybe another one in just specific areas that it was high enough coverage for me. So if it is going to be classified as a medium, I would put it in that high medium category with the ability to build up to full coverage. Now, the other claims that they have are that this is a natural finish on the skin, that it's going to obviously lock down and it's not going to move. It's going to withstand all of these extreme conditions. And I can tell you what my personal experience is. My personal experience was that it really did. Now, I, through a series of unfortunate events, had to have a hysterectomy surgery very young in my life, and I did find myself in my late 20s and early 30s thrown into menopause. So I've dealt with hot flashes for a very long time. And for anybody that's ever suffered through a hot flash, they are pretty intense. It's this flash of heat that just takes over your whole body, and you just break out into a sweat, and that's really inconvenient when you have a full face of makeup on. So this actually really stuck through humidity, really hot weather that we're having here in the Philadelphia area. I have sweat in this. I've had hot flashes in this. I've put it on and just cleaned the house in this until I had sweat rolling off the end of my nose. And it's funny because then you go and look at your foundation at the end of the night and you really expect to see those bare spots that you typically see with any other foundation, which for me is the tops of the cheek, the nose, the chin, and the forehead. With this foundation, you just don't see that. It really genuinely wears perfectly throughout the course of the day, and it does it without accentuating pores. It does it without over drying the skin, and it also does it without sinking into fine lines and wrinkles, which are like my 3 biggest pet peeves. Especially when it comes to a matte foundation, it's very difficult to find a matte foundation that's not overly drying on the skin, and this foundation is not overly drying at all. It really dries down to a very nice finish that you can even set and not have it look overly dry on the skin. I am really, really impressed with this particular foundation. Now, I am wearing the 2.5 shade tonight, and this has been on all day, and it has worn beautifully throughout the course of the day. And one of the biggest testimonies I can tell you guys from this foundation, and for those of you that know and you've been around for a while, I have some pretty bad dark circles. And with this particular face and body foundation, I've even found myself only using the color corrector underneath my eyes just to color correct, and then bringing the foundation all the way up, almost where I would put a concealer, and not wearing a concealer during the day. And I love the way that that looks, and it's just one less product to put on my face. I love the natural look of it, and I've been doing that a lot lately. Now, I'll still use a concealer just kind of down the center of my face just to bring a little bit of that brightness in, but I haven't really been using as much concealer under the eyes as I typically would with this particular foundation. I genuinely love this foundation, you guys. Now, the bottle itself, when you get the bottle, it's actually, it looks like this. It's this weird matte kind of plastic bottle, and which I actually love, because artists love a bottle like this because you can knock it around and throw it around in your kit and you don't have to worry about it breaking. Not only that, but the lid doesn't just twist off, but it has a little lock. I don't know if you can hear it. You hear that click? So it has like a lock, so it won't accidentally come unscrewed in the mess of a makeup bag that a lot of makeup artists have. So it's like those little details like that that they really thought about when it comes to this formula, and I think this is going to become a favorite of a lot of MUAs out there. So I'll give you guys a close-up look of the bottle itself here, and you know, keep in mind that this is a product that's made in France. They do want you to shake this really, really well prior to using it. So remember, if you guys decide to purchase this product, to give it a good shake. In addition to that, you guys are actually going to get 1.6 mils of product, or 1.6 fluid ounces of product, which is actually 50 mils. And typically with foundation, you only get 1 fluid ounce of product. That's kind of the industry standard. So you're getting almost 50% more with this particular foundation. And I know a lot of you are thinking, oh my gosh, it's Dior, you're getting 1.6 ounces. This is easily going to be a $60 foundation. Well, you would be wrong. It's actually only going to retail for $40. And considering how exceptional this formula is, considering that it's Dior, also considering that it's waterproof, that the color range, the 40 shades, includes 16 intensities with 6 specific undertones, I think $40 is a very reasonable price for this particular product. So at the end of the day, guys, this product is absolutely Erika approved, and I would recommend this to anybody. I'm very, very impressed with this particular formula, and they do say that it is created for all skin types. So normally, dry, combo, oily, all skin types, including sensitive, are able to use this particular formulation. And don't forget, guys, because it is face and body, and because the formula is waterproof and extreme condition resistant, if you have anything on your shoulders or on your décolletage or anywhere else on your body that you want to just buff out really quickly, this is going to be your go-to. Alright guys, so that wraps it up for this particular review. I hope you guys really, really enjoyed it. If you are new here, welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a video. And we have a contest going on. So if you want to enter last minute, because the drawing is going to be held this Sunday, I am going to be announcing on Instagram over the course of the weekend what time the live stream will happen where we announce the winner. And in our next video, I'm going to go over the box because it has grown with a couple of additional items. The box that is part of the giveaway, which it is the giveaway, it's just a big box full of products from palettes to a lot of stuff. I'll be going over that box in the next video as well, so stay tuned for that. If you want to do a last minute entry, go back to that Pinky Rose video and make sure that you like the video, that you are a subscriber, and that you put down in the comments the way for me to get in touch with you in the event that you are the winner. Alright guys, I hope everybody is happy and healthy, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Mwah.